लालसालाम हो कामरेड
लडाइँ लड्नु भएको छ ठुलो बन्दुक खेलाउनु भएको छ होला नि पुटुटुटुटु गरेर
त्यही परिवर्तनको लागि यत्रो लड्यो के चाहिँ गर्नु
The decade-long Maoist insurgency period had a huge impact on every strata of society. Each and every individual belonging to different demographic had been mentally, if not physically, devastated due to the civil war. Families had been torn apart and shaken due to the war. There is always this unsettling debate about which party was wrong and who was right. We, as an adult, would always choose to take sides and pass our judgment upon how we had been impacted emotionally or mentally by the ongoing situation those days. But children, they won't differentiate and judge easily. Portrayal of societal reflection of war has been done in several movies. Some blatantly showcases bloodbath and rampantly blaming a particular side, while some choose to take a more subtle way on addressing the sensitive subject matter. Seto Surya, or also known as White Sun, written and directed by Deepak Rauniyar, is one of such movie which subtly yet effortlessly presents us with the harrowing ramifications of war in our country. Let's delve into the premise first. A previous Maoist fighter, Chandra, returns to his ancestral village after a decade to perform the last rites of his father. Upon reaching there, he is reunited with his wife, Durga, and his daughter, whom he had left a decade ago. He, along with his brother, Suraj, who had once worked in the opposite side of the civil war, tried to carry the father's body down the pyre near the river. The whole story is tangled around Chandra and his return to the village, his differences that set him apart from the entire village. But wait, is it really about it? So you might have guessed from this title of the video itself that I'm going to discuss and dissect the important aspects of the movie from my perception. And yeah, it contains spoilers, so warning about the incoming spoilers ahead. When Chandra returns after a decade-long civil war, he finds his village changed entirely from what he had left before. This is the period of transformation in Nepali politics, the transitioning period of Nepal where constitution is being announced. Diving completely into his duties and ideology, Chandra had completely gave up on his other responsibility towards his family in such manner that he is unaware of his child in his village. Here, Chandra represents the liberal Maoist force who have been fighting the decade-long civil war. The other side of the civil war are the army personnel, which is represented by his brother Suraj, who was a previous military personnel, and their father represents the monarchy as being the leader of Raprapa. Even the death of their father could not make their ideological differences wash away. Both standing firm and holding on to their ideological policies, they both forget to properly perform their responsibility towards their father, representing the kind of deep-rooted seed the ideologies has planted in the Nepalese youths. Now let's talk about the meaning and the metaphors of the movie. The movie is filled with metaphors. First one to catch our eye and keep us scratching our head is the title itself, White Sun or Seto Surya. Now, the title is not taken from the existing physical sun, but from the one which is on our national flag. But why the name White Sun? I will come to that later in my conclusion. Also, the movie quite resembles our national flag in every aspect, and a lot of metaphors are derived from it. The first one, as I said earlier, is the film's title, and the second one is the character's name. The two brothers are named Chandra and Suraj. Chandra representing moon and Suraj which represents sun. Like the meaning of the sun and the moon in our flag, where moon represents calmness and sun represents fierceness. Likewise, we can see Chandra, who remains calm and composed most of the time, while his brother Suraj talks in a loud tone, and we can quite feel his fierceness when he drags his father's body down just to start a fight with Chandra. The third aspect is the shape of our flag, which consists of two triangles. And similar to that, we can see two triangular stories interwoven with each other in the movie. The first story being the triangular relationship between the three main leads, Chandra, Durga and Suraj, whereas the second one being the relationship between the kids Badri and Pooja with Chandra. The final aspect is the color. Our flag consists of red or crimson color with the blue borders. Red denotes fierceness while blue denotes calmness. We can also guess the calm disposition of Chandra through his clothes. Chandra wears blue all along the movie. Like Chandra, we can also see the kid Badri wearing blue throughout the movie, by which we can clearly reason why they both easily get along and have a common demeanor, while Pooja is shown wearing red, which symbolized her bravery. Likewise, Pooja is brave enough to ask questions about her father, even trying to find the truth on her own.
कसले भन तिम्रो आमाले भन
The movie has altogether 3 generations showcased in a single frame. One being the elders, who are the leaders and the role models of current generation and are represented by these characters of elderly people in the movie. Second one is the current generations of Chandra, Suraj and Durga, who took their own path themselves and are on a constant path of trying to improve themselves and the society. The third generations are the children that are showcased in the movie through the characters of Pooja and Badri. The older generations were perverted with archaic ill practices like intouchability or chhuachut, jat-bhat, and belonging to the late monarchy era. The current generations, represented by Chandra, Suraj and Durga, are self-driven and self-aware generations. They are free to choose their own individual political ideologies, whichever they find suitable representing their current mindset. And the third ones are the kids on the formative years who cannot judge people according to the political ideologies or their preferences. Everyone is equal in their eyes. They are naive and gullible, but carries immense potential to drive the nation forward in future.
तिमीले चिया पसलमा खाएको हैन अनि
तर पनि त्यहाँ यति धेरै मान्छे थियो कति रमाइलो भयो खाना पनि मिठो थियो
सब स्वाद थियो.
Now let's talk about the next metaphor relating to the dead body. The dead body being carried upon the shoulders of both brothers, in my view, is a metaphor for the transitioning state of Nepalese politics. The two brothers represented the two sides of civil war, whereas the body itself represents the monarchy. Like the need of support of soldiers from both of the brothers to carry the body down the cremation place to finally give it a moksha. Similarly, in reality, peace was not possible without the amalgamation of both the sides fighting the war. If one side fails, the other cannot stand alone and drive the country forward through prosperity. The conflict between the both sides had been keeping the nation from reaching out into the state of peace. Like when Chandra and Suraj leaves the body stranded in the way, similarly the war also had put our nation into a state of predicament. As the father belonged to Raprapa, which was closely related to the monarchy, it indicates the falling monarchy and the current politics trying to drive the country through a tremulous state with peace treaty, whereas in the movie the same is showcased by the brothers carrying the body down the treacherous path downhill. The movie also raises many important questions on the prevalent problems in the society, from untouchability or chhuachut to the problems of unemployment and the young blood leaving the villages to abroad in search of better jobs, emptying the village. The movie also represents the psychological animosity between the children, the ideological fights among the adults, women empowerment, and the adverse condition of Nepalese people post-earthquake era. Now, let's come into the final resolution part. No matter how silly it may sound when we see the small kids carrying the body down the river, the main purpose of this resolution is not the act itself, but the deep meaning it carries. Through this scene, Director Rauniyar tries to put forward his own version of long-term solution to the current animosity between the parties. In the movie, it is showed by children themselves carrying the body down the river, hinting us that the children are the ultimate future and only hope of our country for peace and prosperity. Finally, the title White Sun is actually a metaphor for peace, as we know white is a symbol of peace. Through this, he tries to indicate that the possible solution for prosperity in Nepal, which is possible only through peace and through the children of our country. So this was the video. So if you like this video, subscribe the channel for similar contents regarding Nepali movies. I shall meet you in my new video. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Goodbye.